I'm Billy Lyell, former IBF middleweight world title challenger and the owner of the Sweet Science Boxing and Fitness Gym. Hi guys, thanks for joining in. So today we're going to talk about the left hook and the right hook, which would be the 3 and the 4. So I have again Joseph Rojas helping me with the video series, and the first thing I do when I'm teaching somebody how to throw a hook is I have them throw a straight right hand. So Joseph, get in your boxing stance. Good, hands up, elbows in, small target. Turn that right hand over. Now see, when you throw the right hand, just as Joseph did, you should turn your hip. So he's 60% to start in his back leg, 40 in the front. He shifts 60% in the front, 40 in the back. Now at this point, he's set up for his hook. The hook you want to throw with your weight on your front hip, and you want to turn it over. So go ahead, Joseph, go ahead and turn it over. Now when I say turn it over, what I mean is this. You really want to get that arm out there. It's almost like you lead with the elbow. You don't want to throw a hook like this where the hand leads the motion. You want to get the elbow out there and lead it. When you throw that hook, the hand could be two different ways. You could put your hand this way, or you could put your hand this way. For 20 some years of boxing, I always had my hand in this manner. But I didn't have the best left hook in the world. Anybody that watches one of my fights on YouTube can see that. But now I met some people, and I really think the hook is probably better being thrown like this. The problem is when you throw that left hook this way, this part of your hand, you end up smacking the bag a lot. You really have to focus in on turning your wrist to make sure you land with the knuckle and not with your palm. So ideally, I think it's better to throw the hook in this direction so you're going to hit him with that big knuckle. But don't get me wrong, there's been many world champions and many fighters a lot more accomplished than myself that threw the hook this way. So it can be thrown both ways. If I had to teach one, I would probably say this way. So with the hook, it's all repetition. When you learn the hook, it's good practice for me. I like to throw the right hand first. Because a good right hand, go ahead and throw the right hand, Joseph. If you throw a proper right hand, then your weight will get to your left hip. Then once your weight's already in your left hip, you just turn over the hook. Right. So ideally straight across. If you look at Joseph, his face is protected. Now, boxing is not an exact science. It's an art and a science. So you're going to throw the hook. Sometimes the angle might be like this, or you might throw a half hook, half uppercut. That's okay. We're not a computer program where we're trying to be the best at practice. So ideally, when you get in the ring and fight, that angle is going to change. But when we teach it, we teach to throw it with the elbow up because ideally, when you throw it in that manner, you're going to be protected. So I would say, as a beginner, throw that right hand first and then throw the left hook. But in a fight, you're not always going to throw a right hand first. So if you lead with a hook, or let's say you throw a jab hook. Joseph, go ahead and throw a 1 first, a 1-3, 1-3, 1-3, 1-3. Good. See what Joseph does there. After you throw the 1, as this hand comes back to your chin, you kind of turn, shift your weight into that front hip so you have leverage for the 3. So you don't want to overdo it, and that'll take too long. But you want to be subtly, get that weight into your front hip so you can turn that hook over. So there is a slight shift of the weight into the front hip when you do a 1-3. Now, the 4. The 4 is your strong hand, your right hand to the body. To be honest with you, it's not the most popular punch in boxing for many good reasons I'll get into in later video series. But we do throw the 4 here, and the 4 should be thrown. I would say when you're going to throw that 4, that right hook, I would keep it to the body. I would say the right hook to the body is a very good punch. To throw it, it's really similar to the straight right hand. You're in your boxing position, you turn over, but instead of turning it straight, you use the same things we learned about the left hook and you turn it in. Again, ideally, protecting your cheek. So Joseph, 4, 1-2, 1-2, 1-4, 1-4, 1-4. The 4 is a dangerous punch because you really have to make sure that you're not leaning over your front knee when you do it. Again, 60%, 40%, and you turn, but from the side angle, you're still behind that front knee as you throw it. A reason why it's not a popular punch is In boxing, I throw my jab. I can throw my jab and still be protected, right? As soon as I throw my right hand, I open myself up, right? But it's a risk reward. I choose to throw my right hand because it's harder than my jab. So I'm taking a risk. Hey, I'm going to open up, but the reward is going to be, it's going to be a harder punch. It takes me longer to get there and I have to expose myself, but I'm banking on that I'm going to hit you harder with that shot, so it's going to be worth my risk. So when you throw the right hook, you really have to be careful, because now not only is it taking longer, but as you take longer, you actually have to come to the side and come wide. So it takes an extra long time to get there. So with the right hook, it's mainly used on the inside if you're going to the body. If you're going to throw it to the head, it would be more of an overhand, which we will learn in later video series. So that's the left hook and the right hook, and thank you for joining me. And Joseph, thanks for helping us with the demos.